Well, good morning. We are looking at verse 3 in our initiative 91 and 91, where we are asking you to read and to pray and to memorize Psalm 91 in 91 days. The first three verses read this way: "Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust in him. For he will rescue you from every trap and protect you from deadly disease." When I was growing up, there was a Christian group called Andraé Crouch and the Disciples. And if you're young or if you're new to the faith, you probably haven't heard of that group, but you've probably heard some of the songs that they left as a legacy. Some of the songs were "Through It All," "My Tribute," "To God Be the Glory," "Soon and Very Soon." Another one was "Jesus is the Answer." And the one that I want to reference today is they sang a song called "I've Got Confidence." And I think that is the tone and the attitude of this psalm. I've got confidence. The lyrics of that song go this way: "When trouble is in my way, and I can't tell my night from day, that I'm tossed from side to side like a ship out on a raging tide, I don't worry and I don't fret. My God has never failed me yet. Troubles come from time to time, but that's all right. I'm not the worrying kind, because I've got confidence. God is going to see me through. No matter what the case may be, I know he's going to fix it for me. Some folks wonder how I smile, even when I'm going through trials. They say, 'Andraé, how can you have a song when everything is going wrong?' But I don't worry, I don't fret. My God has never failed me yet. Trouble's coming from time to time, but that's all right. I'm not the worrying kind, because I've got confidence. God is going to see me through. No matter what the case may be, I know he's going to fix it for me." The psalmist had confidence in God in the face of two enemies. The first enemy he mentions in verse 3 is traps. In some translations, that trap is referred to as a fowler's snare. The image is that of a bird hunter who relentlessly goes after and sets up traps to get his game. The image is also that of a physical enemy that seeks our demise. If the psalmist was David, no doubt what was going through his mind was the relentless pursuit of King Saul after him in the deserts of Israel. But David had an attitude. He had a sense of confidence that God would be with him, that God would rescue him, that God would protect him. The second enemy that is referred to in this psalm, or this verse, is deadly disease. It speaks of a hidden enemy. You know, a human foe we can see. A virus and a disease is invisible. We can't see that. But whether it's visible or whether it's invisible, whatever the threat may be, the psalmist had confidence, a confidence that was rooted in God's power and in God's presence. That's a great word for us today. We face the danger of a stumbling economy. That's a threat. We face the danger of a contagious virus, an invisible threat. And those two are big and scary enough to cause us to live in either fear or confidence. And that really is the choice, isn't it? We can live fearfully or we can live confidently. And this psalm encourages us to live confidently. When we live fearfully, we worry. We get anxious. It's what causes us to hoard. It's what causes us to become frantic. It's what causes us to focus solely on our self-preservation. But if we live confidently, it means that we live non-anxiously. It doesn't mean that we live in defiance of our health authorities and disobey the rules of social distancing because we think that, God's going to save us, God's going to protect us, and so we don't have to worry and that we're somehow immune. That isn't confidence. That really is testing God like Satan tempted Jesus when he took him to the pinnacle of the temple and told him to throw himself down and that God would protect him. No, confidence means that we go into work if we're a health worker. Confidence means that we don't hoard. Confidence means that we don't get consumed with worry and the what ifs. We aren't anxious. We're not controlled by a dominating fear. No, we live confidently. You know, I was listening to the radio the other day and they were talking to an Olympic athlete. And she was disappointed by the delay in the Olympics, but totally understood and was supportive. But in the course of the interview, she expressed that every Olympic athlete goes to the games with confidence. They go thinking that they're going to do their personal best or they're going to be the best. And she went on to say that if they don't go with that kind of confidence, they're not going to succeed. They're not going to do well. They have to have confidence in their ability. They have to have confidence in their coaching. They have to have confidence in their training to succeed at that level. Well, as Christians, we don't have to have confidence in and of ourselves. But for the psalmist, his confidence was in God, the Most High, the Lord Almighty, the Lord. And it was that confidence that enabled him to trust, and it enabled him to be able to live confidently through his days. He knew that the Lord was with him to protect him and to help him and to rescue him. So as we go into these days, surrounded by, in a sense, some of those enemies that we all face, let's live confidently. The Lord bless you. Amen.